In this video, I'll be showing you how to get these 4 insane armor sets that also come with their weapons. These are going to be found in these very difficult locations called mausoleums, and they're going to be located in the north, south, east, and west, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get these, starting with the easiest one in the west. So for the first boss, you're going to want to make your way towards the Scorched Ruins, which is this location right over here. On your map, you're then going to go and mark this on the west side of your map. So you're just going to head over this direction. So turn west and just keep running straight. Make your way through all these little graves. Watch out for any enemies that jump on you. Avoid any worms that are glowing red because they will attack you and enlarge and get big. So you want to just avoid any of those, and then you'll make it. You'll see this little structure here, and this indicates that you've arrived at your spot. You can go ahead and just activate the summoning and then step inside. So when this boss fight starts, it's going to seem very, very aggressive, but one of the most easy opportunities to land damage on this Blackgaol Knight is when he uses the arrow barrage attack. This attack is going to be really easy to read. He's just going to shoot a bunch of arrows at you, and you just simply have to move to the left or right, not allowing a bunch to hit you, because then you will die. So if you're able to dodge, you can then find an opportunity to run at the Blackgaol Knight and do some damage. I find this to be the most easiest time to attack him. With most of the other attacks, you want to roll either to the right or the left, and you want to keep some distance from him and just use those small opportunities to attack him. One of the most dangerous ones and unexpected are the spirit slash attacks, where it's a complete range attack, and for this you want to just roll to the right side. That way you'll avoid getting hit by that while you're far. I had a lot of success using the magic build and focusing on keeping distance by using the carry and piercer. It just worked really, really well for this fight. And believe it or not, this is just the second hardest boss, but you'll find out which one's the hardest soon. When you're finally able to defeat the Blackgaol Knight, he'll drop the Helm of Solitude, the Armor of Solitude, Gauntlets of Solitude, the Greaves of Solitude, and the weapon, the Greatsword of Solitude, which looks absolutely amazing as an entire set. You'll actually be able to use the spirit slash that the boss was using during the fight. If you want to wield this weapon though, just make sure that your strength is sitting at 27 and your dexterity is at 13. Let's move on to the next one. The next mausoleum we'll be heading to is going to be the Northern Nameless Mausoleum, located all the way over here, but getting here is actually quite difficult. So in order to head here, you first have to make sure that you have beaten Ranah. If you haven't beaten Ranah, you cannot come here. So beat that, and then you're going to arrive at the first site of grace right outside, called the High Road Cross. Now, from the High Road Cross, you're going to want to just make your way east this way. And while you make your way east, there is another site of grace that you can pick up along the way, which is probably a good idea. And you'll be able to grab a fragment here as well at the North Ruins. So go ahead and activate this one as well. From here, you're just going to make your way north right to this spot here. So we're just going to follow this pathway up here, cross this body of water, and make sure to avoid any worms, again, that have red on them, as they will attack you. If you have a lantern or light, just turn it on. And you're going to go in here, you're going to find a giant plant. Just want to avoid those. If you go straight, you'll also be able to pick up a faith incantation. So pick that up here as you're going. If you see any items, you can feel free to pick it up. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to head towards our locations and do these specific tasks. So then there's a little underpass here, so just make sure you are following this direction, and then a giant open field, and we should be able to find another site of grace right over here. So go ahead and activate the site of grace when you do arrive. This is going to be the ancient runes based site of grace. Hop on your horse and then just continue going this direction. Past all these gravestones. Watch out for these giant stone statues here. They're trying to get you. I just kind of hang left the entire time just to be safe. Enemies hit like a truck in this DLC. All right, so hang left. You still should be around this spot. And as you're about in this spot here, you'll see a wind going up, but it will not be able to be activated right away. So what you want to do is keep going a little bit towards this direction here, a little bit south from it, and you'll find another windish stand here. And what you want to do is just go ahead and break that. When you do break that, that will activate the wind stream that'll let you jump up with your horse. So there you go. This is active, and you're going to just lift up and go. And there's going to be another one right in front of you. Jump up over here, and then you'll see the mausoleum straight away ahead of you. Nothing's in the area to disturb you or ruin your experience while getting to it, so you should be good. Make sure to just go ahead and tap this sign over here, just in case you want to summon someone, and you can walk inside to the Northern Nameless Mausoleum. Now, Redbeard is the easiest boss out of all of them in the video. To be safe from this boss's attacks, you really just have have to roll backwards when this boss is attacking you, and you'll find those easy opportunities to go ahead and do damage. I was using bleed build when I was fighting this boss, so it was pretty easy to get my attacks in. The only dangerous move it has is the bear roar, where it takes out a giant large head of a great red bear and starts screaming. So what you can do is, if you're dumb enough to get hit by this, you can heal through it, but most likely you want to roll either to the left or right as far as you can to avoid getting damaged by this, and then just go ahead, rinse and repeat until the boss fight is over. Once you do defeat the red bear, it's going to drop the fang helm, the iron rivet armor, the iron rivet gauntlets, the iron rivet greaves, and the new weapon type, the red bear's claw, which actually looks really cool. So it's an entire set you get over here. You can put it on your character, and if you want to try something new for this DLC, I definitely suggest putting this on. Not my favorite armor, but let me know if this is your favorite. You're going to need 20 strength and 10 dexterity to use the red bear's claws. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next mausoleum is going to be in the south, and it's also a very tricky place to get to. The site of grace that you want to be at is the castle front. So right from the Three Paths Cross, you're going to cross that big bridge and appear at the castle front. This is going to be right before entering the castle. So what you want to do is hop on your horse, and we're going to head down towards the right side here, just like this. So come down this pathway here and just follow along, because it is a little tricky to get to this coast where we're going to. And also this will help you get to the coast if you need to get here. So just go past all these guards here and head straight down over here. You're going to see a bunch of guys fighting over here, yelling at each other. We're turning left and going down this path here. Here's the poison area, and we're just gonna hang towards the left here and make our way through this, just like this. Feel free to pick up any items along the way that you may see. Then we're not going to proceed straight this way, but turn and fall down into this spot here. So we are moving this direction, and this is going to curve left into a lower area of land. So we're kind of lowering the, what is that word? Escalation. Escalation is the word I'm going for. And we're going to continue to keep going down as far as you can until we hit this water here. And then you're going to see a little cave entry, and we're going to make our way right through here. Feel free to grab any items you see along the way here. And then I'm just going to continue going straight through this way, just like this. And we will be arriving at a site of grace in this cave. There it is. So then activate that site of grace, so that way our progress is nice and safe. This is the Eliak River Cave one. So from the Eliak River Cave, we're going to continue heading towards the south. So just follow along in this direction. We're going to have a bunch of stones here. Just make sure to jump and make sure to not fall off here. Sometimes you might panic on your horse. Just don't panic. You know, it's simple. All right, now we're going to go through a bunch of birds here. Just avoid them. Some of them shoot fire, so just watch your back. I believe that one goes after you. Yeah, that one's going to throw a fire at us, probably. There it is. Just kind of swing to the left and right to avoid that. And just continue going down this pathway over here. Be careful not to over jump to hurt yourself. Go carefully down, because, you know, after going all that way and dying, that's annoying, especially when you see the site of grace. And we're at the next site of grace, which you should register right over here. And this one's going to be the Eliak River downstream. We should be at this location, and we're going to continue heading down south here. I'm just going to hop on my horse, and you want to stay towards the right side over here. Carefully go down. I usually like looking at the white player markers to help. It means a player safely got there. Hopefully they aren't trolling. And continue sticking towards the right side here. You can run in the water if you want. I just like hugging onto the stones as much as I can until I don't need to, just to avoid anything popping out the water, because that is the worst scenario to have. So I'm just hugging towards the right here, as our entryway for the next location will be towards the right side. There's a flame giant in the middle. I hate these things. They will target and start throwing flame at you if you AFK even close to it. Just avoid that. Hug this wall over here, and we should arrive shortly in an entirely different area, which was really cool. It's actually really exciting to reach this point. It's very refreshing to see something different. And yeah, there we are. We are now in this new location where there are a bunch of lovely blue flowers, the Cerulean coast. So once you're here, we're not going to go straight, but we're going to turn immediately to the right from here towards the west direction. Now there are some crazy enemies here, the creepy shadow ones that you found in the base game. They're just running around with bows and arrows. You find them in the caves typically. Like, there you go. You see it right there? Yeah, those are scary. I find these enemies terrifying. They just start teleporting and attacking you. Avoid any worms that are looking kind of red. There's also electrics that'll just start like charging at you. There you go. Dodge those electric balls. You're going to see a tree over here, and you're going to look towards the bottom to find a coast drop, and we're going to fall down right there. And then make your way down this hole just like this. Take your time. There's no need to rush. You don't want to fall and die. And when when you're here, just be very careful because when we come to another room, a giant shrimp is going to come out of the ground. You don't want to get hit by that shrimp. So just hug the right side here because he comes out the middle if you touch the middle, and then go up this little spot here. Then we'll arrive right out here at this door, and you're going to just cross the water here on this shore and make your way up the stone just like this. And when we come up, we should be able to see the mausoleum right over here. There it is. As usual, go ahead and make sure to just tap the summoning sign, and let's walk in and take out this next boss in the Southern Nameless Mausoleum. So this boss is the Dancer of Ranah. Now on the difficulty scale, I would say this is the third hardest boss out of the 4. And Dancer Ranah is pretty easy to take care of. She has a spinning double slash attack, which you can simply easily just roll back and attack. She has a very wide flame attack, which is the one that got me a couple of times. This one can easily be evaded by just rolling back before she claps her hands. And then the other one is the jumping slash. This one you can avoid by going to the left or right. If you apply a lot of pressure on her, she isn't that difficult at all. I basically did that with a physical bleed build and was able to take her out with no problem. Once you defeat her, you'll get the dancer's hood, the dancer's dress, the dancer's bracer, the dancer's trousers, and the dancing Blade of Ranah, which looks really cool. And I like these weapons that they automatically dual wield in both of your hands, which is really nice. Personally, this outfit doesn't look that great on my character, but you can also tailor these later on. To wield this weapon, you're gonna just need a strength of 9 and a dexterity of 20, and it scales off dex, so dex builds can use this. All right, let's move on to the next boss. The next mausoleum boss that we'll be going for is going to be all the way in the east, and it's going to be for a katana weapon. So in order to do this one, you have to already have beaten Ranah and made your way towards the high road cross site of grace, right outside the boss fight. And then we're gonna make our way right towards the castle that's straight ahead of us, that big one right in front. So just head over there, keep going this direction, and head right through this entire camp. There's a big guy over here, and I'm just gonna try to avoid that completely. So just do that until you arrive at this gate, and when you reach this gate, just take the lift up. When you arrive at the top of the Shadow Keep, make sure to go ahead and save right at this site of grace. You're then going to enter the next room, and it's actually a boss room where you're going to be fighting a giant hungry porcupine hippopotamus. It's a very, very strange fight, but essentially you just want to really stay out of the way of this hippopotamus as it's charging towards you. You can roll to the right to avoid those attacks. It does a lot of lunges at you. Honestly, you just have to avoid its big attacks. It's not a crazy difficult fight, but if you just get caught lacking once or twice, it's enough to ruin you. Also, it goes into its phase 2 where it has all these porcupine attacks. So good luck just staying out of there and finding your way when to attack. I'm sure after a couple of tries, you should be able to get this. And after all, this is not really a boss guide to get to the location, but just a matter of you defeating it. But however, once you are able to take out this boss, you can save at this new site of grace over here, which is called the Main Gate Plaza. And from the Main Gate Plaza, you're going to turn west and walk to this door that unlocks after beating the boss. So we're going to just take this pathway straight up, just like this. Walk up these steps. I'm avoiding all these guys right now. Take this next steps up. Continue going up to the next floor, all the way up here. There's a big knight in here. I'm trying to not die. And then exit out to the left here. Make a hard right towards the burning boats. Avoid that staircase because these enemies are really tough here. Yes, there's how you continue further in this area, but we're not going for that. We're heading over here. And on the left, you'll find a little ladder spot right about here, and you're going to take that ladder down. And make your way towards this waterfall and walk right in there. And you'll find another ladder that you'll be taking down. When you're down here, you're going to find a room with a red painting. Just go ahead and touch that painting to grab it. You're going to see a wall to the right. Just slap that, hit it, whatever you want to do, kick it, and it will reveal another pathway. Walk out through that pathway and then jump down over here or take the stairs down, whatever you really are comfortable with doing in the game. And then you'll find a coffin just sitting right at the edge here, which will remind you of something in the base game. So just go ahead and rest in that coffin. and you'll be heading to the next location. Once the cutscene is over, you're just going to proceed straight until you arrive at the next site of grace, which is going to be right over here, the Castle Watering Hole. Once you got that, you're good. You got another checkpoint to come back here, so you have to make your way through that entire place again. Now at this point, you're just going to want to walk or ride your horse this direction. Don't drop down that waterfall, stay to the rocks on the left, and there's another site of grace right over here. Go ahead and activate that as well. The Recluse River upstream. Take some jumps here, just watch out. You're gonna come across this area here and you wanna take a right jump. Keep going on the right side. And then we're going to drop down right here. And guess what? We found another site of grace. Go ahead and step on that and save to update your next location. So once we are at the Recluses River downstream and you're settled there, you're going to look down below you and you're going to see this little bug. Head to this right over here and you're going to make your way towards the north direction on this side. Just like that. Yep. And go very carefully down. Try not to fall down. There we go. Use the rocks to get down. And great. You're in a great spot here. There is a little armor set by this waterfall if you want to grab that. And then you could continue heading towards this direction east. And then you'll see it right over here. Make sure to tap this and hop on in. Eastern Nameless Mausoleum. Now, I personally found this boss to be the hardest, as it is a very aggressive Great Katana boss, constantly coming at you at full speed, so you want to maintain your distance from this boss. I decided to not go physical because I literally get two-shotted by this enemy. He has a lot of jump attacks at you, and you're gonna have to maintain that rolling back a lot from it. And when he goes for a stab, you want to make sure to roll to the left or roll to the right. What I essentially did when I walked in here was start off with a great blade phalanx to start off the fight, and then at a certain point you could use the carrion piercer to keep puncturing the enemy and pushing them down forward again and again. It's just all about timing to kind of lock the enemy in a certain spot, and then when the time is right, you can pop your potion or you can pop your FP potion to get yourself all the way up at MP. And I just kept repeating this over and over again until I took out this enemy. Without doing this strat, I found it a lot harder, but that's the strat I use. Some cheese, but let me know if you have any suggestions for beating this boss if you ever come across it. Once you beat Rakshasa, you get a really cool armor set. It's completely red. It's the helm, the armor, the gauntlets, the greaves, and the great katana itself. And the cool part is you can do that exact same attack that the boss does when you use it. As you can see here, it's a 2-slice. It's really nice, and it scales off of dexterity, so you need dex 27 to run this and strength 12 to wield this. It's a really cool weapon. I'm probably going to go back to my dex build after switching the magic build just to beat this enemy. The int build saved my life when it came to this one and the one in the east. So now you have all the secret mausoleum boss armors and weapons. You should check out this video over here.